Hey y'all, this is Allison hanging out at the beach actually, and I decided to do a layout using Ginger Bush's Day 2 sketch from Christy's Beautiful Life. It had 3 circles on it, so I decided to use my Creative Memories circle cutter. It has 3 different blades, and so I'm using making the largest inside circle, and then I like the blue one here. So I'm not worried too much if it's a perfect circle. It could be a little cattywampus, but it worked out pretty well. So this is a NASA themed page, and so I'm using this star paper, and then I have that other sort of cloudy star paper over to the side for the bases. And I do manage to get all 3 circles out of this one piece of paper, and I did it in the center so that if I wanted to, I could use this star paper for another page, either as a frame or something like that. So these are the background paper. They're from a paper pad called Luna. And I really like the blues with it. So, and this is a 2-page layout, a 2-page sketch. So, and this whole page took me about an hour, which is pretty good for me for a 2-page layout. So I'm offsetting the biggest circle, and then the other circles will move around depending on my photos. I do trim a little bit off the photos because I do want to mat them, and then I couldn't cut a lot off some of them because they were just a wide frame photo. So the photos are of ROBONAUT, which is a anthropomorphic robot that was sent up to space station. So back in 2010, it got sent up to space station for some sort of just tests. It wasn't actually operating or doing anything on the space station because it's a development robot. And I have this silver shimmer paper that I'm going to mat the photos with, and I do manage, with a little bit more trimming, I do manage to get all 4 photos on this one piece of paper. Or sorry, all 5 photos on this one piece of paper. So I have to trim this one a bit in order to fit it. I'm like, how am I going to fit? So I'll do some trimming. And this was in my building where I worked, the Space Vehicle Mock-Up Facility. And so they had the rover set up and the robots, and then they allowed employees to come by and sort of bid farewell to the robot. So there's some really fun pictures. And I invited a couple of friends that worked in other buildings to come hang out. And now we'll figure out placement of them. So you can see I'm just messing around with the circles. If the 3rd circle had been a little bit larger, I would have overlapped it with the first one. But it wasn't, and I'm okay with it. I do ink them just because I didn't want the white core of this paper showing. And the reason I picked this layout because it was going into space, and so I figured let's do the circles reminded me of an orbit. So but you could also turn these into wreaths, or you could do really any subject matter, but it really worked for my space theme on here. So just committing the photos down. And I think that we'll do the title next. So I had pulled these iridescent alphas to write the word ROBONAUT, but I didn't have a B, so I took actually an 8 and I chopped the side of it off. So it's not the perfect B, but it's close enough. These are really fun letters. So I also, in my scraps, I pulled some more of that iridescent or holographic paper. And I am going to try and do these in a straight line. Easier said than done. I should have just pulled out my T-square ruler to help me there. And this came out to be a really, really fun page, actually. I have so many kid pages, it's fun to do one that's a little more, well, I can't say adult theme, because this would work if you had a kid who was crazy about space, or you went to visit a NASA facility or anything like that. It would work. So I decided to use the word hangin' with ROBONAUT. And these letters are ancient from Creative Memories, and I liked them because they are a similar style. As the other letters, but just smaller. So I'm just adjusting those so that they're centered a little better. I didn't do a bad job guessing at the centering because I hadn't brought my little lettering templates. I really liked these Creative Memories because you get a lot of apostrophes and ampersands and all sorts of different font accents and things like that. So now I'm going to make some more stars. So I have 3 different papers to make stars out of. I have some holographic star paper, the plain holographic or iridescent paper, and then the same shimmer that I backed the photos with. And so I brought some star dies, and I'm just going to fit as many as I can on these little scraps of paper. Takes a couple of runs through, not too many, because I can do like 3 stars every pass of the size that works on the papers. So it's not too bad. Just using up the smaller bits of scraps and not trying to, because these, you know, I don't get a ton of these papers, so I'm trying to make good use of them. And I think I do, yeah, that may be about all I do. This Scout is working out great for this retreat. I've used it several times, and I just limit the number of dies that I bring. Just bring some basic shapes, some basic letters, and then any that I know I want to use, and it works great. I can't do big things, obviously, but almost everything works pretty well. So that's, I think, all the stars I'm going to need, and now I'm going to just sprinkle them around the page. And, oh, one more. And then I do pop up some of the smaller stars, just because the word robot is on foam. And so I didn't want that to be the only thing elevated on the page. And then I'm going to fussy cut this little hand arrow out. I just liked it. I'm trying to use up stash. So that's going to go down. And then I'm just going to make some little clusters of stars. One by the title, one up the center of the first page, and then the center of the top of the right page, and then the center of the right page. I think those are, so it sort of weaves you through the page. Now there's plenty of room on here for journaling. I may go in and write in the center of that circle just a few, just straight onto the paper, because it will be very legible. So that will be where I journal. And this page is almost done, you guys. I kept it really simple with the embellishments. I could have done an astronaut, but it really wasn't about humans in space. It was about this robot. So I like the simplicity of it. Now, if I had silver spritz, I would have added silver spritz. I do not own silver spritz yet, so it will be on my next order. I have a few wordy bits that I added, that I had pulled. So I might go back and add silver spritz after I buy some, but not yet. And then I have these little silver from, I think Concord and Ninth. Some little silver half spheres, and I think those are the perfect addition. And let's do some close-ups. Please give this video a thumbs up. I thank Ginger for a great sketch. It worked perfectly for me. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000. I have a ways to go, so every new subby will be appreciated. Thanks a lot, you guys, and come back for more Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches and lots more fun.